do this once, a life-changing speech. Welcome back to the Motive Mind, the sanctuary where transformation begins and warriors are born. I'm here with you today, not just as a voice through your speakers, but as someone who understands the weight you've been carrying. Someone who knows what it feels like to be overlooked, undervalued, and taken for granted. If you've clicked on this video, you're ready. Ready to stop being invisible. Ready to reclaim what's rightfully yours. Your power, your peace, your presence. This isn't just another motivational speech. This is your awakening call. Today, we're going to talk about something that will change everything. Something you need to do just once. But when you do it, it will ripple through every area of your life like a stone dropped in still water. So find a quiet space, turn off the distractions, and prepare to meet the person you were always meant to be. The moment of recognition. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. How many times have you given your all to someone who gave you their leftover energy? How many times have you been the one reaching out, the one making plans, the one caring more? How many times have you walked into a room and felt invisible, like your presence didn't matter? I see you nodding. I feel that recognition in your spirit, because I've been there too. We've all been there, standing in our own lives feeling like extras in someone else's movie. But here's what I've learned, and here's what's going to change everything for you today. The moment you recognize your worth is the moment everything shifts. Not when others recognize it, not when the world validates it, when you recognize it. You see, we've been programmed to believe that our value comes from external validation. We chase approval like we're collecting coins in a video game, thinking that if we just gather enough likes, enough compliments, enough recognition, we'll finally feel whole. But that's not how this works. Your worth isn't determined by how others treat you. Your worth is inherent. You were born with it. It's not something you earn, it's something you are. The power of doing this once. So what is this one thing you need to do? What is this life-changing action that will transform everything? You need to choose yourself. Once. Completely. Unapologetically. I don't mean in a selfish way. I mean in a self-preserving, self-honoring, soul-saving way. You need to look in the mirror and make a promise to the person staring back at you. A promise that you will never again abandon yourself for the comfort of others. This is what lions understand that house cats don't. A lion doesn't explain its roar. A lion doesn't apologize for taking up space. A lion doesn't beg for respect or chase after those who walk away. A lion simply is. And that presence, that quiet confidence, that unwavering self-respect, that's what commands attention. When you choose yourself once, truly, deeply, completely, you set a standard. You draw a line in the sand of your life and say, "This is where my new story begins." The architecture of self-respect. Self-respect isn't just a feeling, it's an architecture. It's built brick by brick, decision by decision, boundary by boundary. And every time you honor yourself, you're laying another brick in the foundation of your new life. Let me tell you about boundaries. Real boundaries aren't walls you build to keep people out. They're gates you create to let the right people in. When you have healthy boundaries, you're not shutting down, you're filtering up. You're saying, if you want access to my energy, my time, my heart, you need to match my level of respect. Most people are afraid to set boundaries because they think it means being mean or selfish. But boundaries aren't about punishment. They're about protection. They're about creating a space where your spirit can breathe, where your dreams can grow, where your peace can flourish. Think about it this way. If someone gets upset because you set a boundary, They weren't respecting you before you said it. Their reaction isn't about the boundary. It's about losing unlimited access to someone who was undervaluing themselves. The healing power of silence. There's something profoundly powerful about silence that our noisy world has forgotten. In a culture that rewards the loudest voice, the most dramatic story, the biggest reaction, silence becomes revolutionary. When someone disrespects you and you don't react, you're not being weak. You're being strategic. You're refusing to give your energy to someone who doesn't deserve it. You're choosing to invest in your own peace rather than their chaos. Silence isn't empty. It's full of self-control, full of wisdom, full of power. When you respond to disrespect with silence, you're saying, "You don't get to steal my peace. You don't get to make me smaller. You don't get to rent space in my head." But here's what's beautiful about silence. It makes space for the right voices to find you. When you stop filling your life with noise, you start hearing the whispers of opportunity, the gentle calls of genuine connection, the quiet voice of your own intuition guiding you home to yourself. Emotional healing and spiritual awakening. Choosing yourself once means choosing to heal. It means looking at the wounds you've been carrying and deciding they no longer get to drive your decisions. It means forgiving, not because others deserve it, but because you deserve the freedom that comes with letting go. Healing isn't pretty. It's not a straight line. It's messy and uncomfortable, and sometimes it feels like you're getting worse before you get better. But healing is like cleaning out a wound. It has to hurt before it can stop hurting. And spiritual awakening? That's what happens when you stop looking outside yourself for salvation and start recognizing the divine spark that's been inside you all along. You realize that you're not broken. You're not lacking. You're not too much or too little. You're exactly who you need to be, and you've always had everything you needed within you. This awakening doesn't happen in churches or temples or meditation retreats, though those can be catalysts. It happens in the moment you choose to honor your own spirit, in the moment you say, "I am worthy of love, respect, and peace, and I won't accept anything less." Reclaiming your energy. Energy is currency. It's the most valuable resource you have. And for too long, you've been giving it away for free to people who don't appreciate its worth. Think about your energy like a bank account. Every interaction, every relationship, every commitment either makes a deposit or a withdrawal. If you're constantly overdrawn, constantly exhausted, constantly running on empty, it's time to audit your accounts. Who in your life is an energy vampire? Who takes and never gives back? Who leaves you feeling drained rather than inspired? It's time to close those accounts. And who energizes you? Who makes you feel more like yourself when you're around them? Who invests in your dreams, celebrates your wins, supports your growth? Those are the accounts worth investing in. Reclaiming your energy means being selective. It means saying no to good things so you can say yes to great things. It means protecting your mental and emotional space like the sacred sanctuary it is. Moving like a lion. Lions don't chase. They don't beg. They don't explain themselves. They don't try to prove their worth to gazelles. They simply embody their power, and everything else responds accordingly. When you move like a lion, you walk into rooms differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself differently. Not with arrogance, but with quiet confidence. Not with aggression, but with strength. Not with desperation, but with assurance. Lions understand something that most humans have forgotten. Your presence is your presentation. You don't need to announce your worth. You embody it. You don't need to demand respect. You command it through your self-respect. Moving like a lion means you don't chase people who don't want to be in your life. You don't explain yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you. You don't argue with people who have already decided you're wrong. You don't try to convince people of your value. You simply live your value and let that speak for itself. Earning silent respect. The most powerful respect isn't the kind that's loud and obvious. It's the quiet acknowledgement that happens when people recognize they're in the presence of someone who values themselves. Silent respect is what you earn when you stop performing and start being. When you stop trying to impress and start trying to express your authentic self. When you stop chasing external validation and start generating internal validation. People might not always like your boundaries, but they'll respect them. They might not understand your silence, but they'll feel its power. They might not appreciate your standards, but they'll recognize your strength. This kind of respect doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being consistent, consistently choosing yourself, consistently honoring your value, consistently protecting your peace. Leaving toxic environments without guilt. Here's something they don't teach you. You don't owe anyone an explanation for removing yourself from situations that harm your spirit. You don't need to justify why you won't tolerate disrespect. You don't need permission to protect your peace. Guilt is a prison we build for ourselves, and toxic people hand us the keys. They make us feel bad for having standards. They make us feel selfish for having boundaries. They make us feel guilty for choosing our well-being over their comfort. But here's the truth. Leaving a toxic environment isn't abandonment. It's self-preservation. It's not giving up. It's growing up. It's not being mean. It's being mature enough to recognize that you can't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop fighting. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is refuse to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. The blueprint for inner power. Your inner power isn't something you need to find. It's something you need to uncover. It's been there all along, buried under layers of other people's expectations, societal programming, and your own limiting beliefs. Here's your blueprint. Foundation. Self-awareness. Know who you are. Know what you stand for. Know what you won't tolerate. This isn't about being rigid. It's about being rooted. Structure. Self-respect. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd show a dear friend. Speak to yourself with the same compassion you'd offer someone you love. Honor your needs, your feelings, your boundaries. Framework. Self-discipline. Do what you say you're going to do, especially to yourself. Keep the promises you make to your own spirit. Show up for your own life the way you'd show up for someone you deeply care about. Protection. Self-advocacy. Speak up for yourself. Stand up for your values. Don't wait for someone else to fight your battles or recognize your worth. Power source. Self-love. This isn't selfish. It's essential. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have. Love yourself fiercely, completely, unapologetically. The transformation. When you do this once, when you truly choose yourself completely, everything changes. Not overnight, but inevitably. You stop attracting people who don't value you because you stop putting out the energy of someone who doesn't value themselves. You start attracting situations, relationships, and opportunities that match your new vibration. You stop feeling invisible because you stop hiding. You stop feeling overlooked because you stop overlooking yourself. You stop feeling taken for granted because you stop taking yourself for granted. The people who truly belong in your life will rise to meet your new standards. The ones who don't will naturally fall away, making space for the ones who do. Your energy becomes magnetic because it's no longer scattered. Your presence becomes powerful because it's no longer apologetic. Your life becomes beautiful because it's finally, authentically yours. Walking in your truth. Truth isn't always comfortable, but it's always liberating. Your truth might upset people who benefited from your confusion. Your growth might threaten people who were comfortable with your smallness. Your boundaries might inconvenience people who were used to unlimited access. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them be threatened. Let them be inconvenienced. Their reaction to your growth says nothing about you and everything about them. Walking in your truth means speaking your authentic thoughts even when your voice shakes, making decisions based on your values, not on others' expectations, choosing what's right for you even when others don't understand, believing in your dreams even when others call them impossible, trusting your intuition even when logic says otherwise. The ripple effect. When you choose yourself once, completely and unapologetically, you give others permission to do the same. You become a lighthouse, showing others that it's possible to live authentically, to have standards, to demand respect, to choose peace. Your children see it. Your friends feel it. Your colleagues notice it. Even strangers sense it. You become a walking example of what self-respect looks like. And in a world full of people who have forgotten their worth, that's revolutionary. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the architect of your destiny. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You stop surviving and start thriving. The quiet strength. There's a strength that doesn't need to announce itself, a power that doesn't need to prove itself, a confidence that doesn't need to defend itself. This is the quiet strength of someone who has chosen themselves. It's the strength of knowing who you are and being comfortable with that knowledge. It's the power of being alone with yourself and enjoying the company. It's the confidence of knowing that you're complete, not half of a whole waiting for someone else to fill the gaps. This quiet strength is magnetic. It draws the right people, the right opportunities, the right experiences. It repels the wrong ones before they can even get close enough to waste your time. People feel this strength even when you're not speaking. They sense it in the way you carry yourself, the way you make decisions, the way you respond to challenges. They know instinctively that they're in the presence of someone who values themselves. Beyond explanation, one of the most powerful things about choosing yourself is that you stop feeling the need to explain every decision to everyone around you. You realize that the right people will understand, and the wrong people won't understand no matter how much you explain. You stop justifying your boundaries. You stop defending your choices. You stop proving your worth, not because you're rude or inconsiderate, but because you understand that your energy is too valuable to waste on people who have already decided not to respect you. When someone questions your boundary, you don't launch into a detailed explanation. You simply restate it calmly and move forward. When someone challenges your decision, you don't feel compelled to justify it to them. You trust yourself enough to know that you made the right choice for your life. This isn't about being closed off or unwilling to communicate. It's about recognizing the difference between healthy discussion and emotional manipulation. It's about refusing to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. As we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to imagine the person you'll be 6 months from now if you truly choose yourself today. Really see them. See how they walk into rooms, See how they handle disrespect. See how they protect their energy. See how they love themselves. That person isn't a fantasy. That person is your destiny. That person is who you become when you do this once, when you choose yourself completely, unapologetically, and permanently. You came to this video for a reason. Your spirit led you here because it knew you were ready. Ready to stop being invisible. Ready to stop accepting crumbs when you deserve the whole meal. Ready to stop explaining yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you. The old you might have been overlooked, undervalued, and taken for granted, but that person is graduating today. That person served their purpose. They brought you to this moment of recognition, this moment of choice, this moment of transformation. The new you is untouchable, not because you're perfect, but because you're protected by your own self-respect. Not because you're better than others, but because you're better than you were yesterday. Not because you have all the answers, but because you finally learned the most important question. Does this honor who I'm becoming? Remember, lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. You are the lion. You always were. You just forgot for a while. So do this once. Choose yourself. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Now. Right now. Make the promise to yourself that you will never again abandon your own spirit for the comfort of others. Your future self is watching. Your peace depends on it. Your power is waiting for it. If this message resonated with your soul, if you felt something shift inside you while listening, then smash that like button and let me know in the comments. Share this video with someone who needs to hear these words. Subscribe to The Motive Mind and ring that notification bell, because we're building a community of people who refuse to settle for less than they deserve. Your transformation starts now. Your power has been activated. Your new life is calling. Go claim it. This is The Motive Mind, reminding you that you are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are not just existing, you are becoming. You are not just dreaming, you are awakening. Until next time, remember, you are worthy. You are powerful. You are enough. Now go show the world who you really are. Thank you.